And now, your mama knows. So Thursday, March 22nd, my friend Justin and I went to Dave&Busters to hang out because I haven't seen him in a long time since he's married and got a baby. So we wanted to hang out and chill. So we went to Dave&Busters and we was playing the Walking Dead game, and we decided to go play some racing games. Halfway through the fourth racing game, I realized I can't find my phone. So we jumped up and it was gone. We decided to ring it, but nobody was answering. So eventually, after about 15 minutes, it just went to straight to voicemail. So I came home and I called Samsung, and they gave me a website that you go to so you could track your phone. But it wasn't much help. You couldn't really pinpoint where your phone was at. The next morning, I made a post on Facebook just letting everybody know that my phone was stolen. You could contact me through Messenger. One of my really close friends, Anastasia, actually gave me the best advice ever. She wrote on my status and said, hey, you could go to the Google Find My Phone. And I went to Google Find My Phone, and it was really good. It actually pinpointed my phone, and I could actually see the last place where my phone was at before they shut it off. And it was funny because it was actually on Knights Road at a house that was right across the street from Dave&Busters at Philadelphia Mills. Now knowing where my phone was at, I actually left work early and I went to the police station in that area and I filed a police report. Now the cop who was there, he actually said I could go to the address and I could call the cops and have them come out there and just meet me there. Now he did say they can't really do anything but knock on the door and said, hey, this gentleman said that it shows that his phone is at your location. I know it's only a phone, but my phone is the Galaxy Note 8. And I actually bought this phone on September 15th, the day it came out. And I also purchased a 256 gig SD card. And on top of that, I actually purchased a charger case. That charger case has 10,000 milliamps. So all of that was over $1,200. So yeah, it's only a phone, but that was a lot of money. But the thing is, besides the money part, what's more important to me was videos. I have so many videos that I didn't get to create, like my buddy's wedding, some crazy videos with my dog, and that stuff is more important to me than the price of the phone because that stuff is priceless. I can't get that stuff back. I actually went back to Dave&Busters and asked them did they have any cameras, but they said they only had cameras on the registers. So I went to the house, called the cops. Two ladies officers showed up and they looked at me funny, and I was like, listen, I know it sounds funny and it's just about a phone, but my phone has a lot of important information on it. So they went to the house, knocked on the door, and nobody answered. The gentleman came out that was next door to that place, and he did look kind of suspect. But where the tracker looks like is, it looked like it was actually at that place where nobody answered. So they said there's nothing they could do because nobody answered. They told the gentleman to let the people know who lived there that I said I was missing my phone, and it looked like my phone was pinged at their location. And I just figured, you know what, maybe on Monday I'll come back and I'll try to do this thing all over again. Also, I decided not to transfer my number to another phone because I figure if I leave my phone on for the weekend, if they turn my phone back on, then I'll actually be able to track them. But if I transfer it, then I would lose my chances of tracking them. So over the weekend, I kept calling it, but it kept going to voicemail. So one thing I did was I used the app to, if the next time they turn it on, the phone won't be able to be shut off. And the phone, that way I'll be able to track it. Also, I was able to put a note on the phone. So like I typed in a text to say, hey, this, my phone has been lost or stolen. If you can, could you please call me back? And the important part of using the app was to be able to block everything so they can't be able to get in it. So I was actually able to set up like an extra special password so that as soon as they turn the phone back on, it'll automatically be blocked and they wouldn't be able to get in at all. So on Sunday around 4 p.m., I was just about to walk out the door to go see my buddy Bob, and my wife decided to call my phone. She called it, and it actually rang. I was like, whoa, is that my phone? She's like, yeah, that's your phone. I was like, oh. So I used the tracker, and the funny thing was it showed that my phone was in Trenton, New Jersey. So I jumped in my car, I drove out there, and I actually found the area where it was at. And it was actually at the apartment building. It's called Carteret Arms. but it didn't say it was in the building. It said it was outside. So this guy started walking out to a car. So as I'm standing there, before I even noticed him, I heard a car turn on. So I'm like, it's like auto start. Then I look and it's this guy walking up to a car. So I'm thinking, I bet my phone is in his car. So I said to him, I was like, hey, do you know anything about a missing Galaxy Note 8? And he was looking like, so he looked at real like shaky, like he was a little bit scared. So he was like, no, I don't know anything you're talking about. So he got in his car and I took a picture of the license plates. So the guy get in the car, he drives off. I run to my car, get in my car, and by the time I pulled off, I didn't see where his car was at. And so I pull over, start tracking the phone again, and it looks like the phone was in the building. So he must have drove right around and parked and went into the building. So I go into the building and I'm figuring, okay, so when I was outside, I totally forgot that my watch could actually link up to my phone. So if I see my watch link up to my phone, that means I know I'm close to my phone. Also, I could use the Find My Device on my watch. And that's what I forgot to do when I was in Dave&Busters. And when I finally hit me in Dave&Busters, I did it, but my watch died, which is crazy because my watch never dies. But that night, my wife and I went to sleep on the couch, and I never charged my watch. Anyway, so I started just walking up and down, and mind you, it's 15 floors. I walked up every single floor, running up and down the steps, and going through, each of the floors, putting my hand up to people's doors, trying to see if my watch was sync. Couldn't sync to anything. So I came back down. I was like, dang, what to do? So I went back outside, still seeing the car. So I'm like, okay, this guy's still here. It shows that my phone is still in the building. So I go back upstairs and I go through every single floor, pressing the feature on my phone, trying to see if it would let my phone ring. So this time it was different than my watch, trying to get my watch to sync. I logged in to my account, trying to make my phone ring. And I went through all 15 floors, but no luck. Didn't connect to anything. So after a few hours of being out there, I decided I'm coming home. I got kind of tired. So I came home. My wife had dinner ready. Kind of hung out a little bit, playing around, trying to keep sending the signal. So I decided, you know what, let's just watch The Walking Dead. It is what it is. Tomorrow morning, I'll try do it again. And then hopefully the guy will slip up. Or maybe he'll go to work and he'll take the phone with him. I don't know. So anyway, after The Walking Dead, I looked and I was like, whoa. It shows my phone was like in the, it looked like it was in the parking lot area. So I double checked my old phone I was using, on my wife's phone, and on my computer. I was definitely in the parking lot. So at this point in time, it's like 12 o'clock at midnight. And I'm like, what am I going to do? So you know what? I jumped in my car and said, the hell with it. Took my wife's phone and I went out there. And I started walking up and down the parking lot, walking up to each car, trying to see if my watch would connect, a ringer would sound off, and I couldn't hear anything. And I'm looking at the map, and I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, I don't know where it's at. I mean, it should totally be in this general area. So honestly, I was about to give up. So I decided to go up to some cars that was a little bit away. Like the cars was actually kind of like, it was no way that they, it was probably like 20 feet away from where the signal was at. So I'm walking and I'm listening and I'm using my watch and I'm by the signal. And then I start to hear something. The ringer isn't coming from the any of the cars. It's actually coming from the dumpster. So I'm thinking to myself like, wait a minute. My phone's in a dumpster. I jump in the dumpster. I'm digging through. I mean, this is crazy. It's a huge dumpster, And my coat is really big. I got this really big coat. All right, check it out. You remember this. It's a big coat. This thing's like 30 pounds. I can't even get through the trash. So I take my coat off, throw it out, and I'm digging through. I'm grabbing garbage bags. I'm listening, and I hear this ringing. I'm like, where is it? Crazy enough, it was all the way at the bottom. They just chucked it in there. So I guess from me calling all the time, and it just, if you send a text message, the text message just pops up and say you've received a text message. So, and also me just letting it ring. So I guess they must have got scared and figured I can't get inside of the phone. It's locked anyway. And if it was that guy, he probably felt like, oh, wait, this guy just asked me about the phone. Anyway, whatever happened, they decided to throw my phone in a dumpster. And the funny thing was my phone was at 15%. So I figured, okay, either A, I'd go and try to see what I could do. Maybe I'll find a phone in the car and I could call the cops and they could come out and, I don't know, figure out who car it is and I prove it's my phone. Or B, if I don't go and it's at 15%, what if by the next morning my phone dies and they can't charge my phone because it has a C port, and not every Android phone has a C port. So, and you could tell that they wasn't charging it because all this time it wasn't being charged. It's cool that that app allows you to be able to see the percent of your battery. But anyway, you know, I'm in a dumpster, I find my phone and it's nasty. It got like grease and oil or something on it because there's a cafe inside of that building called CNC Cafe. That's another way I was actually able to track it down, because I was able to look and see that it says CNC and figure it was inside of a building. Anyway, yeah, got my phone back. I jumped out the dumpster. Now the bad thing was my case is gone and my stylus is gone. The main thing is the phone was there. They wasn't able to get into it. All my information was still there. They couldn't use, you know, my data or anything. And I can't believe it. It's a crazy story, crazy turn of events from Thursday to Sunday. And it's literally almost 4 o'clock in the morning, but I'm making this video for you guys. And I just want to say thank you to Anastasia for helping me. Thank you for my wife allowing me to use her phone. Thank you for my wife's mom's friend, Maria. She did the St. Anthony's prayer with me for the lost and found. I want to thank everybody. At first, I was bummed out, and it made me feel like I didn't want to make any more videos. I was like, man, I'm about to just take a break on videos. But you know what? All I can say is never give up. You know, I was so persistent. I kept telling myself, I'm going to be able to find my phone. I'm going to, you know, I just can't give up. And I just really didn't give up. Long story short, if you just don't give up, anything is possible. It's that old saying that's so true. Where there's a will, there's a way. If you have a will to figure it out, there's a way to make that will happen. So with that said, thank you, everybody. Whew, I can't believe I got my phone back. And now your mama knows. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And now your mama knows.